8-year assault on your Second Amendment freedoms has come to a crashing end. I like taking the guns early. Take the guns first, go through due process second.
Well, I say go fuck yourself. Then ask a question, could I kill a man? I would enjoy myself. You can't disguise the evil eyes that burn over my head. This devil man and his master plan. We feel so misled, so I say, rise up, take it all back. Rise up, take it all back. Rise up. I hope you all understand. We got to take it all back again.
These people are not going to take it any longer. We will never give up. We will never concede. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. But go home and go home in peace. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. You do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday night drop night. How you doing, OMG? I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're still alive. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're healing well. I hope you're out of the hospital. Holy hell, man. I still have nightmares over those pictures. So you never gonna ride a motorcycle again, or you thinking about it yet? I mean, that's... I don't know. Did we talk about how that happened? How did that happen? Let me know if it's not too painful of a memory for you. Curious. All right. Let's see. Today I have been binging some. What's this guy's name? Hold on. Let me check because it should come up in my search history, or not search, but Ben Works. So BENSWORX. he does resin casting and then on a lathe, and he does experiments and stuff. I don't know why, but I went down that rabbit hole yesterday, and that's all I've been. Any free time I have, I'm watching his videos. He's casting like the Starship Enterprise in a resin bottle. Well, he in a thing of resin, then he makes it into a bottle, so it's a ship in a bottle. So cool. Lots of cool stuff. All right. Also, since I have YouTube open, let me open up subscription. Surprised I didn't see this in my subscriptions. I should have. Unless the thumbnail was a little weird. I've been unsubscribing to a whole bunch of channels I don't really watch too. Oh, there it is. All right, cool. I found it. Let's go. So this is Broken Patriot. He put out a video today. This is his granddaughter, and this is the present we bought her. So I'm glad that she likes it. It looks like she's rocking back and forth
Hey,
on it
everybody.
and stuff, so it's pretty cool.
My beautiful little granddaughter is on her rocking unicorn that Uncle Poison Stinger and Aunt Riddle Girl bought
I'm glad
her
she likes it.
for her birthday.
Well done on picking it out of the list of things that we showed him. We showed him, I don't know, like 5 or 6 different options, and oh, we got a thumbs down already. I just been talking about watching Ben Works and a little girl on a unicorn. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Shoot, haven't even gotten into the good part yet. But let's go ahead and do that. I'll leave that. If you watch Broken Patriot's channel, definitely go check that out. It's a short video. We have some Arizona news. Arizona Senate President audit totals do not match Maricopa's results. Arizona Senate President Karen Fann said the audits of last November's event in Mericopa County found a discrepancy in the totals submitted by county officials. They haven't released a number yet, Fann said during a radio interview. When asked how big of a discrepancy it was, however, we do not know that those numbers do not match with Maricopa County at this point. Arizona Republicans said they expect a detailed report from the audit to be ready by September. So we're going to know more about that in September. However, state Democrats and Maricopa County officials have already blasted the audit as a waste of time, claiming the state Senate audit team was woefully underqualified to complete the task. Fann pushed back and said she was confident the independent firm state Senate Republicans hired, Cyber Ninjas, investigated potential DARFing in Maricopa County thoroughly. I'm confident because it's not just them, she said.
Hey, look, a new
Hey,
subscriber.
thank you very much for the new sub. That's like the first time that's ever popped up, and it's not in front of the stinger. Ken Savage, thank you very much for the sub. Why isn't that in front? That should have been in front. I'll fix that later. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let's see. I am confident because it's not just them, she said. Everybody keeps just counting on them when actually they are working with a number of other contractors that have experience in audits, and their expertise is in their own fields. This is a joint effort. Though the audit has technically concluded, Fann and the state Senate is using independent machines to recount the county's nearly 2.1 million pieces of paper once again before they are returned to Maricopa County, so state Republicans can confirm any discrepancies in the totals. That's when we said, let's get a couple of our own independent machines in, not Dominion's separate ones, and do your own independent, and do our own independent. And all we're doing is just counting the number of the pieces of paper, she explained. It's a paper counting machine. It's all it does. This will help give us a third check and balance to see if those numbers are closer to the vendor's numbers or Maricopa County, or they're all three could be right on target. So they found something. They're not saying what they are. Maybe we'll figure out what that is in September. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. The new machines they are bringing in for the third count will count only the number amount, which will be good because we already have a total that has been reported, right? Like a really good turnout, like really good in Maricopa County. Oh my goodness, almost everybody voted at least once. And then, I mean, Joe Biden took our state pretty well. So pretty excited about the results on that one. All right. In other news, also in the same genre, should be able to pick out real versus with watermarks. Yep. They do have watermarks. Ken, since you're kind of new here, we're in Mericopa County, and Riddle, my wife, she had gotten her ballot spoiled because it bled through. Right? And so they didn't know what to do, and so they wrote spoiled on it. She kept that. We still have that somewhere, I think. And, that was a whole debacle back in the day. But yeah, it does have watermarks on it. Michigan vendor warned to ignore Soros-backed Secretary of State order to wipe all that data. Wow. Michigan's Democrat Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson appeared this week to be covering her tracks to prevent future audits of the state's equipment that counts those, pieces of paper. Benson, who was already has been rebuffed by the courts for her partisan overreach in the lead up to last November's event, told equipment vendor Election Source to remove the batteries from voting tablets statewide, according to a press release. Ostensibly, their purpose would be to perform preventative maintenance on the equipment, said the letter, which the Gateway Pundit obtained a copy of via Michigan attorney Stephanie Lambert. Batteries are not necessary in Michigan due to the fact that we do not use direct recording electronic voting in our state, the letter claimed. However, critics said removal of the batteries would wipe data surrounding what happened in November, even as another battleground state, Arizona, prepares to announce the findings of an intensive audit that could trigger a renewed push for scrutiny in Michigan and elsewhere. Removing the ICX batteries will erase any volatile microelectronic memory in the machine, destroying any forensic trail of current configurations and historical data on the system, including all configurations and data used in last November. We have ordered Election Source to cease and desist this attempt to destroy evidence. We would reveal Darfing in the 2020 event that happened last November. It continued. In addition to violating federal anti-corrupt laws, the data insurer also could render the machines uncertified and create chain of custody concerns that would eliminate any legal ambiguity. I cannot say that word. About the validity of Michigan's, results. The software firm Dominion comes with a disclaimer stipulating that the equipment must remain unaltered in order to be certified by the U.S. Election Assistance Commission. Specifically, this means that it came with a battery and it was tested and certified with a battery, said the Gateway Pundit. Therefore, removal of that battery would be inarguably altering the hardware to be untested and therefore decertified state. At least two other states, Georgia and Pennsylvania, appear poised to follow in Arizona's footsteps by launching audits of jurisdictions, including Atlanta and Philadelphia, where suspicious activity occurred and where, in some cases, direct evidence of Darfing had recently surfaced. However, voting integrity activists in Michigan suffered a series of recent setbacks as Republicans in the state legislature concluded with Benson and Michigan Attorney General Dana Nelse on plans to persecute anybody who didn't agree with the official report. I know about getting in trouble for not agreeing with the official report myself here. Cyber Ninja is a fantastic forensic audit. They're a beast. Check them out. Cool. Cyber Ninja Turtles, says Joseph. Cyber ninjas being hired are one reason Democrats are not happy about the recount. They have a great track record. Well, they call them a bunch of clowns. I've heard that many a time about cyber ninjas. I mean, didn't they supposedly quit the audit as well at one point? I have no idea. I don't remember exactly. Poor Democrats. They're going to be in trouble. Well, I don't know. What'll end up happening if, and I have no idea what's going to happen. For all I know, Joe Biden is going to come out with even more votes than he had before all this, So, I mean, let's not put the horse before the cart here, YouTube. Okay? But if it doesn't happen that way, well, if it does, then the Democrats are going to be like, see, he got even more votes than he had before, right? If that doesn't happen, well, it's, a crap company and it wasn't done correctly and we can't be assured of this, yada, yada. There is not going to be any moment where anybody's going to buy one side or the other. It's still going to be illegal on YouTube. Well, not illegal, but it's still going to be, heavily frowned upon. Get a strike on your channel if you say that somebody won that didn't. And it's okay. Nothing's going to come from it. All it is going to drive each side further onto their side and out of the middle where people can actually talk and come up with solutions to problems. Georgia's news is out too that shows some duplicates. Yeah, I did cover the Georgia one, like I think yesterday or the day before. No Dems tried to remove them, but they failed. Want to see my leg? Are you still in the hospital? How'd you have the accident? I don't remember asking you that. I know you had a motorcycle accident, but I mean, yeah, hit me up in the Discord, I guess. But I need a little backstory. The GOP-led state Senate also released a report stating it had found no evidence of widespread DARFing. See, YouTube, no evidence. I cover it both sides here. And requests for a court-mandated audit based on some 7,000 witness affidavits appear to have reached a dead end. Like many of the corrupt leftist officials at the center of the vote DARFing scandal, Benson is an alumna of the George Soros-backed training program that was designed to install radicals in key positions where they could apply selective enforcement of the law. Others with documented Soros ties through funding or training include Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and she's amazing at it, Arizona Secretary of State Katie Hobbs, Maricopa County Sheriff Paul Penzone, wow, Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro, former Pennsylvania Secretary of State Kathy Boockvar, Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner, and Georgia activist Stacey Abrams. So there's your George Soros-backed politicians. Quite a few of them in Arizona here. I didn't know. I knew the sheriff was left-leaning, obviously. I didn't know he was George Soros. Whatever. Motorcycle high side hit a tree stump. You hit a tree stump? Stump tumbling over and over. 5 broke ribs. 1 collapsed. 1 broke in 2 places. You hit a tree stump? Did you not see it? Yeah, share that on Discord. I'll check it out. Why not? Let me see if you already did. I actually have it open today. I checked it before I came in. General. Where's my general? There's too many tabs. General chatter. That's voice. There's general. No, I haven't seen it in there yet. All right. Congressman wants Capitol Police to extradite Texas lawmakers back home for arresting. Internal bleeding? I don't doubt it. Dude, when you're breaking ribs like that and a collapsed lung, that means one of your ribs probably punctured your lung, I would imagine, which obviously is internal bleeding. Texas Republican Representative Brian Babin asked the U.S. Capitol Sergeant-at-Arms to assist Lone Star state officials in the extradition of state Democratic legislators who fled the state to Washington, D.C. to prevent Republicans from voting on election integrity bill this week. I ask that you fully cooperate with the Texas State Police, the Texas Rangers, and the Sergeant at Arms Senate in any request for extradition and remaining of Texas legislators who have abdicated their responsibility by relocating to the United States Capitol while the legislature is still in session, Babin wrote in a letter to the House. Sergeant at Arms William Walker and Senate Sergeant at Arms Karen Gibson. Texas state Republicans voted on Tuesday to send law enforcement to D.C. to find the 58 Democratic legislators who flew to D.C. to obstruct the GOP-backed election bills. I thought they couldn't go out of their state in order to do this. Like yesterday when we read this, well, not this story exactly, but when we read this story last time, or a different version of this, they said they couldn't go arrest them because they were out of this jurisdiction and they'd already tried doing that once before or something. They had tried to prevent a quorum or the necessary number of members present for the chamber to hold a vote. However, the taxpayer-subsidized junket to schmooze with their Democratic counterparts in Congress failed to prevent the Texas Senate from approving election integrity measures in an 18-4 vote on Tuesday. The state Democrats said they choose to hide out in D.C. to pressure Senate Democrats leadership to pass S1, the companion bill to H.R. 1, which would override any voting reforms passed by Texas. Babin noted that in his letter that Texas and the U.S. Congress have the primary authority to take action to compel attendance at legislative sessions. You got to love it. They're going over there to protect and defend the Constitution by trying to ask for something that clearly violates the Constitution. It is up to the states to regulate the voting in their states, and they're trying to get the federal government to do it, which is against the Constitution. That's not the only thing they do try to get around the Constitution. Oh my, OMG, click link in description. What's up? Oh, Discord? Discord is, I think OMG is already on my Discord, I thought. Brought to the trauma ward, trauma surgeon coma for 32 days, woke up and been to healing. It's very painful, but I guess I get through it. Holy crap, bro. Yeah. Yeah,
I
they
just gave him a member role, though. I think maybe he had joined before I started assigning roles.
Okay. Yeah, they refuse to do their job, arrest them, bring them back by force. Yeah, I mean, I agree, but at the same time, if they don't have jurisdiction, I kind of understand that. I just find it funny that because their whole thing was, we're going there to protect the freedoms and the Constitution and protect voting integrity. Like, you're going against the Constitution right now, not to mention your views on the Second Amendment. How is it you're just okay with defending the Constitution when it's convenient for you, and which ones you like and which ones you don't try to defend at all? Warrants for their arrest can get them back. Police just arrest them. Yeah, they'd have to, but I doubt that they will. The Capitol Police, which, killed Ashley Babbitt, and other law enforcement agencies in the Washington area work with every day to assist with extraditing fugitives and criminals from other jurisdictions, and this situation deserves no less, he said. Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, has already threatened to arrest the fugitive state Democrats when they return to the state. As soon as they come back into the state of Texas, they will be arrested. They will be cabined inside the Texas Capitol until they get their job done, he said this week. Texas, I don't know, man. I think Texas is going to secede from its damn self. We might get a 51st state, after all. Fired healthcare official blames Republicans after plan to secretly vax teens backfires. You better know what's going on in your schools. If you got kids in schools, holy crap. Ops meant warrant for their arrest? Yeah. No, I got it. As if encouraging young children to embrace gender dysphoria and anti-American critical race theory weren't enough, leftist officials are now plotting ways to alter their genetic material without the parents' knowledge or consent. Tennessee Department of Health recently fired one such bureaucrat, Michelle Fuchs, who was the medical director for shot-preventable diseases and immunization programs after her aggressive outreach efforts to inject teenagers with the sniffle shot. But after being rebuffed for her overreaching obsession with penetrating the teenage demographic, Fiscus went public on Tuesday to cast herself as the victim, blaming Republican lawmakers for politicizing the issue. I don't think they realize how much of an advocate I am for public health and how intolerant of injustice I am. Fucus told the Associated Press on Tuesday in one of several interviews with numerous news outlets. The shot slowdown comes amid a new push from the Biden administration, which, after failing to meet its self-imposed shot benchmark of 70%, has considered drastic measures targeting young people. Scientists indicate that those under 65, barring any extraordinary medical conditions and comorbidity factors, face only a slight risk of suffering serious adverse effects from the sniffles. Conversely, those under 30 have been linked to alarming side effects such as heart inflammation and receiving the shot. Yet the Biden administration privacy-invading outreach plans raised serious alarm last week following comments that it planned to send strike forces door to door to target unshotted individuals, forcing the White House to clarify several points. Now they say it never even happened. It's like fake news now, even though it's all over tape and you can still find it. Despite the lingering concerns in Tennessee, which has a lower than average shot rate, around 38%. Good job, Tennessee. 38%? Fiscus doubled down. She now claims the state elected leaders put politics over the health of children by firing her for efforts to get more Tennesseans shotted up. Fiscus' public servant ads directed at teens were one of the first red flags, but it was a memo she distributed outlining the possibility of shotting teens without parental consent that crossed the line with state GOP officials. During a June committee meeting, angry Republican lawmakers invoked Fiscus' name over a letter she sent to medical providers who administered shots, explaining the state's legal mechanism, letting them shoot up minors as young as 14 without parental consent, calling the mature minor doctrine. The letter, she claimed, was in response to providers' questions and did not contain new information. Fiscus said the health department's attorney provided the letter. The attorney, she said, had said the letter had been blessed by the governor's office. She said it was based on a 1987 Tennessee Supreme Court ruling, and her job was to explain what is allowable. In addition to the letter, Republican lawmakers admonished the agency for its communications about the shot, including online posts. One graphic featuring a photo of a smiling child with a Band-Aid on his arm said Tennessean 12 plus are eligible for shots. Give Sniffle 19 shots a shot. During the hearing, Republican Representative Scott Chapicki held a printout of a Facebook ad saying teens were eligible, calling the agency advocacy reprehensible and likening it to peer pressure. Let me just catch up. Folks should be going to jail. I don't know. I'm curious. Now I don't know which side to believe. I have no idea, because Republicans will lie to you just as much as Democrats will. All right. So what was it? Was she just trying to educate, or was she actually trying to do some shady shit behind the scenes? Secede from the United States will not make them the 51st. It would make them their own country, being the nation of Texas. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that the conservative part of Texas is going to split. I'm talking about the Democratic parts of Texas might want to opt out. That's how we had a Virginia and a West Virginia. At least that. Maybe North Dakota and South Dakota. I don't know, but I know Virginia and West Virginia split during the Civil War. Right? So it's kind of what we're seeing nowadays. So they would definitely want to be part of the United States, I'm sure of it. Fiscus said the agency presented her with a letter of resignation and a letter of termination Monday, but no reason why she was being let go. After choosing the termination letter, she penned a blistering 1,200-word response in which she said she was ashamed of Tennessee's leaders, afraid for her state, and angry for the amazing people of the Tennessee Department of Health who have been mistreated by an uneducated public and leaders who have only their own interest in mind. She also revealed that Tennessee's Department of Health has halted all outreach efforts around any kind of shots for children, not just sniffle ones. The Tennessean confirmed through department documents. 2 weeks after the hearing, the health department instructed county-level employees to stop shooting up events aimed at teens and to halt online outreach to them. The Tennesseans previously reported citing emails it obtained. Ficus said, I say that name different every damn time, said issues on the shot communication arose last fall before the shots were federally authorized when health officials asked for permission to start messaging about how sniffle shots would be safe, effective, and well studied. I'm about done with that. Yeah, I'll be done with that one. Let's get on to a different one. That one's going to get me in trouble, if the first two didn't already. Open borders. Biden admin says Cubans and Haitians must keep out. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because Cubans right now are in revolt because they are tired of their socialism. They're done with it. The free health care that's going to take you forever to get to. Those people aren't going to vote for Democrats if they get into the United States. We don't need them, right? That's what I'm guessing. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas told Cuban and Haitian refugees that President Joe Biden's administration will not admit them if they try to cross the Caribbean Sea and Florida Straits to seek asylum in the United States. How? Wow. Even Cuban and Haitian migrants who present a well-founded fear of persecution or torture will not be permitted to apply for asylum in the United States, the New York Post reported. Those refugees with legitimate claims will be sent to another country for resettlement. They will not enter the United States, Mayorkas said at a press conference. He said the Coast Guard will return migrants without legitimate asylum claims to their country of origin. The Biden administration has not directed the same clear warning to South or Central Americans, Africans, and Middle Easterns who are streaming across the U.S.-Mexican border. Biden has opened asylum applications to illegal aliens who come through the wide-open southern border, even though most are not fleeing political or religious persecution, but simply seeking better economic opportunities, which is not a legitimate reason for asylum. The Biden administration double standard on illegal immigration and legitimate asylum claims may reveal a hidden political purpose. Cubans vote Republicans, and Haitians seem to lean less Democratic than other black populations, though they remain heavily Democratic. Mayorkas and his family fled Cuba for the United States when Fidel Castro seized power and turned the once prosperous nation into a Marxist hell where religious, political, and economic divergence is punished. Yet he will not allow the same opportunity for today's Cubans. The time is never right to attempt migration by sea, Mayorkas said. To those who will risk their lives doing so, the risk is not worth taking. Allow me to be clear. If you take to the seas, you will not come to the United States. The journey comes with clear risk. American authorities have identified 20 people in the past few weeks who have died trying to travel the seas of South Florida. Cubans supported President Trump in the 2016 and 2020 presidential elections because they viewed him as a bulwark against the same Marxist ideology that destroyed their homeland. Well, I guess we're going to see a southern water wall, maybe? Maybe the Democrats will get on a seawall so they won't get in here to vote. Haiti has seen unrest since President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated last week. I did not know that. Political unrest has spread throughout Cuba, too. The regime opponents recently gathered in Havana streets to shout freedom, enough, and unite. Wow, what a fucked up double standard. Yeah. For a long time, I thought about calling this the hypocrisy. I can't say it. That's why I didn't call it that. The hypocrisy report, because every damn day it's just hypocrisy on one side or the other. It doesn't matter. The Republicans do it just as much as the Democrats, but the Democrats are more funny when they do it. The Republicans are like, man, I can't believe I got fooled again. Fuck you, dude. Take the guns first and due process second. Shit, I fell for it. Norwegian Cruises sues Florida over the sniffle shot law. Norwegian Cruise Line is challenging a new Florida law that prevents cruise companies from requiring passengers to show proof of their shot against the sniffles. The lawsuit filed Tuesday in Miami federal court contends that the law jeopardized safe operation of cruise ships by increasing risk of contracting the sniffles. Norwegian intends to restart cruises from Florida ports on August 15th with shot required for all passengers. Norwegian wants a judge to lift the ban by August 6th. The law imposes a fine of $5,000 each time a cruise line mandates that a passenger provide their sniffle shot proof. Norwegian claims it violates federal law and several constitutional rights. I think it violates a lot of rights the other way, personally, just my own opinion. The company, officially known as Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, or NCLH, says it won't be able to sail from Florida unless a judge acts to block the law. The result would be a devastating, unrecoverable loss for everyone, not only for the NCLH business, but also for tens of thousands of passengers, employees, and stakeholders who all benefit from NCLH resuming safe operations as planned, the suit says. The only way NCLH could maintain its protocols and operations as currently planned is by abandoning Florida altogether, the lawsuit adds. The lawsuit names as the defendant Florida Surgeon General Dr. Scott Reviques, who is head of the state health department. Reviques is an appointee of Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, whose spokeswoman said the cruise line's policy discriminates against children under 12 and others who have not gotten the shot. DeSantis press secretary Christina Pasha noted that in an email that Florida recently won a lawsuit challenging several cruise industries regulations imposed by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention over the sniffles. Florida already fought and won its case so that Norwegian and all other cruise lines can invite and serve all Americans on its vessels, Pasha said, but apparently Norwegian prefers the shackles of the CDC to the freedom offered by Florida. The CDC is appealing that earlier decision by Tampa federal judge. Other cruise lines include Carnival, Royal Caribbean, have already begun voyages from Florida with a variety of policies regarding sniffle shots. Interesting. We'll have to look that up because me and Riddle have been wanting to go on a cruise. I would love to go on a cruise. It's something I've always wanted to do. Like, man, if I ever get rich enough, I want to go on a cruise. I mean, look at this thing. Look at that thing. Does that not look like a lot of fun? A lot of money. Well, it's not horribly any. I mean, it was. Last time I looked, it was like maybe a couple grand, and that's it for like a whole week per person, with food and accommodations and the whole bit. So, I mean, I would absolutely love to go on a cruise, but I'm not going on there if they're going to require documentation of my medical records. That's just my own private information. Democrats can't win legally. They have to tilt the scales however they can. I know a lot of people that agree with that. I don't know why we need voting machines anyway, to be honest. I don't know why they needed to be hooked up to the internet. I don't know why you had to clear out a room at 1 a.m. saying there was a water main break and then keep on counting in them anyway. Oh, and during that time they were keeping on counting 100% straight up spike for our fearless leader, Joe Biden. Most populous president. Even more popular than Obama. Yeah, he got more votes than Obama did in 2008. Did you see his latest video of his the state of the address? Couldn't even get 1,000 likes. It had like 3 times more downvotes than it did upvotes. You have the most populous president to ever be elected to the United States presidency. Can't even get 1,000 upvotes? Shit. I'm fishy there. 1.8 million people did not return to work because of generous welfare benefits. Yeah, if you want to get a job nowadays, it's a great thing. I'm thinking about doing like a career change. I don't know, maybe. I keep thinking about it. I don't know. Here are the FEE fee. We predicted from the beginning of the pandemic that Congress' decision to create unemployment benefit systems paying most individuals more on welfare than they earned by working would backfire. We weren't the only ones. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office similarly cautioned that this move would cause unemployment and hurt the economy. The system has offered many unemployed households the equivalent of $25 an hour in benefits for staying home. $25 an hour? You can make $25 an hour for sitting on your ass at home. Well, yeah, I'm not going to go to take a job. It was always obviously illogical based on the work incentive it creates. However, in the year and a half since, there has been an enormous, concentrated, politically motivated effort to deny that the extensively generous welfare benefits are playing a role at all in joblessness. A new poll makes this continued denial impossible. For context, we currently have 1.2 in unemployed people for every unfilled job opening. Small businesses are also reporting massive shortages of willing workers, even as they raise wages. You have to raise the wages because inflation has taken over big time. Just go to the gas pump or buy a loaf of bread. So a Morning Consult surveyed unemployed Americans and asked them why they turned down job offers. As far as I knew, well, I don't know, maybe this is per state, but here in Arizona, at least, if you turn down a job if you get offered a job while on unemployment, you lose your unemployment. About 13% openly admitted their reason for not returning to work was, I receive enough money from unemployment insurance without having to work. If this representative sample is extrapolated across an entire unemployment population, that equates to 1.8 million Americans who admit to declining to go back to work because they could earn more on welfare. Meanwhile, another 12.1% said that they were not offered enough money to return to work. This subjective determination is likely also influenced by the generous benefits as a fallback option. Here's a graph from Axios. Yada yada. Here we have solid confirmation that millions of people have remained unemployed because of the government's reckless expansion on the welfare state. Well, we all knew that. I mean, if they're going to pay you $25 an hour to sit on your ass at home, shit, that's not bad. It seems to have affected the lowest paying jobs. Now fast food has to increase pay, or folks want, well, they've been wanting a minimum $15 an hour anyway. But let's say you were working at Burger King and you got unemployed. Now you're making, let's say you were actually making $15 an hour, and now you're making $25 to sit at home. That's a hell of a pay increase. Texas offers $10,000 rewards to people who turn in women seeking abortion. Now, I was going to cover the story yesterday, and I totally forgot to do it. What's up, Broken Patriot? How you doing? I'm glad your granddaughter likes that rocking horse. That's cool. I'm glad you also picked it out of the many that we sent you. From September 1st, women in Texas who seek abortions after 6 weeks could be turned in for a $10,000 reward after the Texas Heartbeat Act passed through the state legislature in May. Well, I'm glad that they nailed down when life starts. If, as you know, I don't know. I personally think it's conception, but as long as we can all come to a certain time and stick with that time, I'm okay with that too. The thing is, they like to change it around. And as I said yesterday, if a woman wants to abort her child, that's fine. It was just a clump of cells. But if a day before a guy shoots her and kills her unborn fetus, he goes to jail for murder of that fetus, even if she was planning on getting it aborted. How does that work? Is it a person or is it not? Why is it okay for a doctor to do it, but not for some... we live in a strange world. The act will allow private citizens to sue private medical companies for granting abortions after a heartbeat is detected. The citizen who does not have to live in Texas, so I can do it, who reports a case could be awarded $10,000, which has raised serious ethical questions. And I agree with that. If I can report somebody for doing that and get 10 grand, 10 grand? Who's paying that 10 grand? Is it the taxpayers? Most shockingly, the pro-choice group Women's March has also highlighted that people could also sue surgery providers, nurses, friends, and others who facilitate the abortion. I'm all for suing the medical person who's doing it, or even the company, right? The person themselves, I don't know. Most shockingly, the pro-choice, already read that. As a result, critics want this law to be changed before it takes effect on September 1st. In May, Governor Greg Abbott signed into law that bans abortions after 6 weeks. Although it does have some exemptions in the case of medical emergency, a woman may have an abortion, but the law still stands in cases of pregnancy due to rape or incest. So if you got raped or you got screwed by your father, you still can't abort it after 6 weeks in Texas. I don't know. Abortion's a tough one. That's a tough topic. I don't like it at all, to be honest, but since we have it, it's complicated. Washington Post writer Jennifer Ruby noted, consider the potential for harassment, spying, extortion, and other vengeful behavior directed towards women. The law depends on what others know about her reproductive health and were willing to tell the authorities to grab 10 grand. You know I'll be ratting you out for 10 G's. MSNBC host Joy Ann Reid has also expressed her disgust, stating, so now Texas Republicans are putting bounties on pregnant women. Oh, they're not pregnant. They only have a clump of cells inside of them. It's reproductive health. They're not pregnant. I almost hate to ask what this benighted party will think of next. Bigoted party? No, benighted party. Yeah. As per Fortune, 6-week bans in other states have all eventually been found unconstitutional as they pass through the legal system. The differing in policies between Republican and Democrats is seemingly illustrated in this law. In fact, Ruby went so far as to say if Republicans cannot win elections and defend their policy objectives, Republicans appearing willing to burn down democratic elections and equal justice under the law. So you have both sides claiming that. You have the Democrats claiming that we're going against the Constitution and all that shit too, with the whole voting rights and stuff. I'd hate to be a person who's undecided right now. At least the people who are decided know what category they're in. I'm sure it's a taxpayer. Yeah, probably. All right. What's this one? People who are unshotted by choice are engaged in biological warfare against their own nation. In the best possible world, sniffles was handled in the United States from the outset with a national system of testing and case management that, as in South Korea, prevented the disease from ever becoming a national epidemic that brought deaths and long-term disability to all 50 states. In the actual world, at least 400,000 Americans died unnecessarily, because they got in car accidents and also had the sniffle, due to mismanagement of the sniffles in the United States alone. And now, thanks to the unreasoning and persistent refusal to get the shot by 41% of Republicans, I'm sure there's no Democrats in that 41% at all, and an influx of ever more contagious variants, it has become impossible for America to reach the point where sniffles does not circulate freely in communities across the nation. Low-shot states are providing the sniffles with a rotating set of hotspots, boosting the nation to 4 straight days in which there were more than 20,000 new cases, and seeing that more aggressive Delta variant is becoming dominant in all regions. Areas like the Southwest, Missouri, have seen a 4th wave of disease that has matched or exceeded levels in January and February, once again straining local healthcare systems and requiring patients to be shipped to hospitals hundreds of miles away. Yeah. living in Phoenix, you can go to any hospital and be seen right away. That's fake news. They are not turning away anybody. There's plenty of room. For those people who have all their shots, it may be tempting to shrug off, people who don't want the shots as being on their own, except that's not the way it works. First, no shot is 100% effective, and while over 90% of those dying from the disease are currently found among the unshotted people, the other 10% of people who have been fully shotted but are still getting severely ill and dying are being infected almost entirely by people who haven't been shotted up. Second, the more people so you get that shot and it still doesn't help you. You can still get it, and this is just their opinion. Second, the more people refuse the shot, the more sources there will be for the next variant. The Delta is not bad enough. The World Health Organization is already tracking variants of interest: ETA, Iota, Kappa, and Labadia. There are 14 even newer variants that contain features that may make them more contagious, more sniffle evasive, or more shot evasive, more virulent. 5 of those variants were the first identified last month. Let's see. And right now, in Mississippi, there are 12 children too young to take any of the shots who are in ICUs fighting for their lives. That is entirely because some people still won't get the shot. It's all your fault. If you didn't get the shot, it's your fault that there's a 12-year-old kid in the ICU fighting for their life right now. Is it just because they got sick, or were they in a car accident first? That's what I want to know. Do they have anything else going on, the reasons why they're in the ICU, or is it just because they got the sniffles? That thing pissing me off already. I'm done with it. America's Civil Warning. Why not? I'll click it. That news story about the rainbow dildo butt monkey. What? Oh, this one. Yeah, wasn't that on something else here? Was it? Where was that? I think I saw that somewhere, didn't I? Was it? Yeah. Yeah. London Library apologizes after man dressed as a rainbow dildo butt monkey appears again. All right, fine. Real girl just can't help herself. It's a UK story, apparently. London Library apologizes after man dressed as a rainbow dildo butt monkey appears at kids' events. Parents were outraged when footage surfaced of an actor dressed as a multicolored monkey with fake genitalia appearing at a child's event. The footage of a Mandiga Arts Group at the Redbridge Library Summer Reading Challenge event at Goodmay's Library saw 3 actors in bright outfits. However, one had an accentuated butt cheeks and a fake penis. This led many to questioning the judgment of the event organizers. Redbridge conservative counselor Anita Bonega has told LBC's Nick Ferrari that they found the decision of the library involved absolutely bizarre. On the back of the strange incident, school governor Has Hamid stated that apparently this is meant to encourage kids in Redbridge to pick up reading for summer before asking about the rationale behind the indecent costume. The sentiment has been echoed by many others who were unsure of how the costumes were approved for an event designed for children. There were also wider discussions about the impact this would have on children. The organization did note that this event was arranged by Vision and not Redbridge Council, before adding that they stopped the event as soon as they realized what was happening. There was also a promise that such an incident would never happen again. No, I don't want to. I don't want to watch the video. I can see enough. Thank you for that. All right, I think this is going to be the final one. Yeah, we already watched that. Rise of the Moors. I wanted to know more about this, so I looked it up. And this was the first one that came out. This is a Boston NBC Boston. Arrest warrants issued. New details emerge in the Rise of the Moors case. So I'm gonna play this and unmute it.
Body camera footage released in court today.
Right,
we are learning new details tonight about the wild highway standoff in Wakefield. Body camera footage released in court today showed the conditions officers faced as they encountered a group of armed men. NBC 10's Malcolm Johnson joins us live from Medford with the very latest on this. Malcolm.
Audrey, today for the first time we saw some of that body camera footage, and in it we saw police interacting with this group of armed men that claimed not to have social security numbers, drivers, or firearm licenses. State police body camera video played in court Friday,
have a license,
adding new
have a
perspective
constitutional
to an
right.
encounter between troopers and a group of heavily armed men in Wakefield last weekend.
What's going on, man?
I don't understand a word of it.
The men are members of the Rise of the Moors, a fringe group that does not believe U.S. law applies to them. Troopers say the suspects told
Allegedly.
them they were driving to Maine for, quote, training. The men
They also
had
talk
no
about their
drivers or
constitutional rights a lot,
licenses.
too.
All right, so none of you guys have a license on it? No.
Moments later, police asking the group's leader, Jamal Latimer, to put down their guns.
In the meantime, until then, I'm going to have to ask you guys all. Oh, no. You're not going to do it. No.
Saturday's hours-long standoff ended with no injuries
I wouldn't
and
either.
11 people taken into custody.
By video conference.
Then, days later, outbursts in the courtroom as several of the suspects faced a judge, many of the men looking to represent themselves. The judge vying for order in the court.
Snap out of it, people. Snap out of it.
As the group showed body cam footage of their own.
Smart.
Merely bearing arms, which is what we're doing, constitutes no crime. So I'm asking you, what is your probable cause?
Notice how this doesn't get much national press.
And so, Audrey, the judge found 6 members of the group to be considered dangerous and ordered that they be held without bail. We know that 4 other members of the group will have hearings on Tuesday. We're live tonight reporting in Medford. I'm Malcolm Johnson.
So it's still
NBC 10
ongoing.
Boston.
All right, officials in Rhode Island said they have issued arrest warrants for 2 members of the Rise of the Moors group who were involved in the armed standoff with police. Rhode Island Attorney General Peter Noera and other top state safety officials announced felony charges Tuesday against 40-year-old Quinn Cumberland. They said he is wanted on 3 counts of providing false identification information to purchase a firearm. Chamberlain is currently in custody in Massachusetts, where he faces charges related to the July 3rd standoff. The Attorney General's office said Cumberland provided a false address information during 3 separate attempts to purchase firearms from a dealer in Warwick in 2021. That could be interesting, because if he moved, right, if he lived at one address and then he moved to another address and he didn't get his license changed, has anybody ever bought a firearm and with a driver's license without your current address, but the one that you were at before, because you haven't gotten your license changed over yet? Because that could have been that. Maybe. An arrest warrant has also been obtained for the purported leader of the group, 29-year-old Jamal Latimer, also known as Jamal Talib Abdullah Bey, for violating the terms of his bail stemming from an ongoing criminal case in Providence County Superior Court. The Attorney General's office said he also remains in custody in Massachusetts. Rhode Island officials said Bey was arrested on March 4, 2020 by state police and charged with obstructing law enforcement officer, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. He was released on bail prior to his arrest on July 3rd. And this is, I believe, just the normal what went on. In the decision was made probably around 10:30 in the morning. The individuals were in the woods and came back onto the highway to return to their vehicles, he said. The decision was made at that point while they are all together to try to take them into custody. Ah, I see what you did. The Wakefield Department of Public Works put plows on 4 large dump trucks and drove those the wrong way up I-95 to block any attempts to escape. Holy shit. Then he said the Northeastern Massachusetts Law Enforcement Council, a regional SWAT team, was deployed, a long-range acoustic device. That's one of those sound weapons. A very high-pitched audible alarm, which basically disables somebody temporarily. Then they took the suspects into custody without further incident. No injuries to any officer. Yeah, they were all respectful. I don't know. It is what it is. I'll be following it next Thursday or whatever. I'll try to remember at least once a week to touch in on the rise of the Moors. I'm curious about it. I really would like to know more about this fake address. Didn't say fake name, just said fake address. With a name like what he has, if he used his real name, because they didn't say he used a fake name, so obviously he didn't. So that's why I really think it's got to be that he just moved and didn't update his ID, and now they're going to say that he, violated the law because he not forged, but he lied about his address. Tell you what, they're giving them the railroad attention. Not putting it on national TV. Definitely won't do that for a couple reasons. First of all, they don't want to show that black people have firearms. And for two, people who were doing nothing but fueling up their gas cans. Now, obviously, they shouldn't have done that. They should have just filled up at a gas station or known that they had to stop. I don't think it was smart on their end, but at the same time, no, I don't think they did anything wrong. Yeah, they don't want to get attention. But that's all I've got for you this evening. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for the sub. Ken, I do appreciate that as well. Hope you had a good time. We will be back again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 Eastern. Before I go, though, there are descriptions down below, and in those descriptions are links. The first set is all the causes I believe in and support. So if you're looking for a cause to believe in, support with your money, these are the ones that I recommend. We have the pH Association. That's a disease that I currently have. There is no cure for it. I most likely will die from it, but they're prolonging my life with medication. And this pH Association is the only group out there that I'm aware of actually actively looking for a cure. We have the GOA, the gun organization, that's actually trying to go through the court systems to protect your constitutional rights to have a firearm. We have Project Recover. That's an organization that goes out and looks for lost service members and returns their remains to their families. And then last, my favorite one is a GoFundMe by my good friend Irish USMC vet. That one's called Rally Point Irish. He's trying to start up a location in Tennessee where vets can stay room and board free while learning a new skill like farming, blacksmithing, gunsmithing, things like that. Now, if you want to donate to this channel, we are 100% demonetized. We got demonetized, I believe, in January. And I still haven't heard back from them about getting remonetized because I'm not that popular of a channel. But if you want to donate to this channel, there are ways to do that down below. Just know that 50% of that goes to Rally Point Irish. I would like to see that done, and I know he would too. And it's a cause I really believe in a lot. So 50% of it goes there. However, if you really want, I'd be more than okay with you just going and donating 100% of whatever you're thinking about giving straight to Rally Point Irish, because, as I said, I'd like to see that finished. Don't feel like you have to donate. Obviously, we are among friends. I do appreciate every one of you. If you want to help out the channel without spending a dime, you can always like, comment, and subscribe. And also, sharing this content with other people is probably the best way that you can support the channel. What's up, Tactical Tony? How you doing? How's it going? Other than that, we have all the places you can follow me. I have Poison Stinger 2. I do have a Gab and a Rumble, but I don't really use them very much, so I'm not really on it. I am currently streaming on DLive as well as YouTube, because I can do that kind of stuff. That's fun. Twitter is where you'd find out if my channel got a strike or not, or Discord. Discord might not be on the picture below me, but it is in the description below me. Check out my Discord page. That's a really cool... If you don't have Discord, it's kind of like a private Facebook, Twitter group. And only the people in this room can go in there. So I believe that's all I needed to say. All right, cool. Well, sorry, Tone, but you caught me at the end there. I'm just wrapping it up. I was also editing video today of our first ever dry age steak that we tried. And I'll tell you what, I need so many things to make cooking videos better than what I made it. It's cringe. It's 100% cringe all the way through. I will still figure out a way to make it as presentable as I can. We're gonna have to try dry aged steak again as well because we added flavors to it, and I don't want to have it with flavors added. So I'll probably be doing it again at some point. But I've been working on the editing on that today. I'm hoping to have that done and uploaded to a channel. I'm not exactly sure. I might just start a brand new channel for that shit. But we also have a salsa canning video that I got to edit. We have blueberry jam video that I need to edit. And chili? I'm not sure if we did a chili one or not. Anyway, thank you very much for being here. I really do appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Until I do, though, make sure to keep that family close. Watch out for that government. And try to live as free as you can in the tyrannical world we find ourselves living in today. Peace.